This man has been saving $500 every single day for the past 30 years. Oddly enough, he lives like a homeless person. He combs his messy hair with an old toothbrush, and even the mirror in front of him is pieced together from a pile of discarded nail clippers. It's all so absurd and chilling. Even stranger, the man suspends bottles of mineral water in midair every day. He carefully pokes 3 small holes in the bottom of each bottle with a needle and luxuriously uses this mineral water to take a shower. After washing up, the man puts on a tank top, puts on his headphones, and begins his daily morning exercise routine. But instead of working out in a park, he does it in a narrow stairwell cluttered with snacks and drinks, which seems particularly bizarre. After exercising, the man kneels down and starts praying. Suspiciously, the object of his prayers turns out to be an ordinary-looking small red backpack. As it turns out, this is his only source of food. Unlike him, an old man lives on another floor, surrounded by piles of garbage and a stench permeating the air. Although they seem completely different, the 2 men are actually the same age. The camera flashes back to 30 years ago. In the corridor, a police officer is in hot pursuit of 2 fugitives. Seeing the fugitives about to disappear from sight, the officer gets impatient and pulls the trigger, causing a fugitive to fall to the ground in pain. Suddenly, a loud bang comes from upstairs. The 3 of them are instantly alarmed and hastily head downstairs together. Finally, they reach the first floor, but find that the door won't open no matter what. The officer turns around and notices something strange. Although they had already reached the first floor, there were still stairs below. The 3 of them gaze down into the crevice of the stairwell, only to find that it plunges so deep they can't even see the bottom. Then they look up and find that there's still no end inside above. The officer tells them to stay put and decides to go down himself to find an exit. However, the exit on each floor is sealed off. When he reaches the 9th floor again, the police officer is shocked to see the 2 men once more. Seeing the officer coming down from upstairs, both men are too shocked to speak. The officer, unwilling to believe it, turns around and continues running upstairs. Soon after, the panting officer reappears in front of them. The stairwell seems to have formed a closed loop connecting end to end, with no way to escape. The officer, unable to believe what's happening, takes out a key and throws it down the gap in the stairwell. Astonishingly, the key falls from above their heads. At that moment, the 3 of them fully realize they're trapped in this stairwell with no way out. Due to the lack of medical equipment, the fugitive with the leg injury eventually loses his life there. During this time, the officer discovers a vending machine in the stairwell. Even more amazing, no matter what they take from the machine the day before, the items in the machine are always automatically refilled the next day. So, they've managed to survive for 30 years on the food provided by this vending machine. In this endless corridor that they can never escape from, the 2 men have long since put aside their grudges and rely on each other. That night, the officer suddenly loses control and screams wildly. When the man arrives, the officer has regained his memory and tells him that his name is Daniel. Many years ago, someone had warned him about the curse of this space loop. Then he pulls out a red notebook from his pocket, holding it tightly in his hand, his eyes dim, as if it contains some major secret.